I ran into my #1 spender on OnlyFans. What's this? And yeah, that's about right. Crypto whale looking for a queen. Fan statistics. Subscribed for 1 month. Spent $62,000. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of... Wow, that's a lot of money. And that's only in 1 month? How does that work? Bro, why? He was stalking her? I don't know if he was or not. Who knows? 63K in a month. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could probably sub and unsub. I'm not sure. If it's like World of Warcraft, I don't know. This does not prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that being rich doesn't equal being smart. Well... yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of dumb people, especially make money in crypto, right? Ran into, I'm guessing more like he found me. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Small business. One of the girls works for me as OnlyFans about a year ago. The guy came in the store, lost his wallet on the street, and he saw Lisa. He went crazy and started hugging her and just acting nuts. I had to threaten the police to have him leave, and he came back several times looking for her. It was actually pretty scary. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that being a girl is like playing on a PvP server. All the time you have to worry about like where you're gonna go, make sure like, oh, do I want to go down this aisle, or could there be people camping the aisle? That's just what it's like. Yeah, it's like being on a PvP server, a contested zone. It's nuts. And I know obviously everybody talks all the time about, oh, well, you know, OnlyFans girls make a lot of money, but you know, there are creepy, weird stalkers, and I definitely think that it's not as much rainbows and butterflies as you might imagine. Actions have consequences. You pose nude, then run the risk of creepy fucks stalking you big time. Jay Murray, I understand that you probably live with like some degree of resentment about the fact that girls can make a lot of money selling nudes on OnlyFans. I would like to let you know that you're probably in your 20s, right? And so you don't understand the scope of, you know, the male and female interactions as much as I do, and I don't understand it the way somebody like 50 would understand it. At my age, I don't feel that way anymore. I used to feel that way. I don't feel that way anymore. The reason why is that I've seen how those dynamics change over the years, and you'll see that as well as you get older. And the reality is that girls get harassed no matter what. There are plenty of girls that get harassed just for posting pictures of themselves. That's it. If you're a pretty girl online, or even if you're an average-looking girl online, and if you're an ugly girl online, you'll get harassed for another reason. But let's say you're an average-looking or a pretty girl online. You are going to constantly have people that are trying to, like, insert themselves into your life and get closer to you than you want them to be. That's it. So I understand that you, like, this is not a cause and effect of her being an OnlyFans girl. Any girl, like, you talk to, if you talk to 20 girls, actually, no, it's easier. If you talk to 5 girls that play World of Warcraft, you'll probably get 3 stories of somebody, you'll at least get 1 story, probably, of somebody who tries to get too close to them that makes them uncomfortable. Can you guys attest to this? Anybody who's known a girl in Warcraft, that you'll probably get 10 stories. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, this isn't WoW. Well, what I'm saying is that WoW is a place where men and women interact, right? And it's the same on Twitter or anything else. Stop defending OnlyFans girls. I'm not defending OnlyFans girls. And also, if you're attacking a girl for doing OnlyFans, you're just stupid. Like, why is it... Have you ever thought to yourself, why should anybody care about what I think somebody can and can't do? Why does it matter what my approval is of another person's life? These people are the main character. They think that their approval matters. You're an NPC to everybody else around you. Your opinions don't matter. They're of no consequence. They'll never matter, and nobody cares. So, yeah, you can spend all your time talking about, like, what you think is and isn't okay, but just at the end of the day, try to remind yourself that it's never really going to matter what you're saying. Well, here's my point, right, is that, like, this is not something that happens to girls because they have an OnlyFans. This is something that happens to girls. And it happens to girls whether or not they have an OnlyFans. It happens to girls whether or not they are being sexual. It happens to girls no matter what. So I don't like this idea that you're going to go and blame this girl for this weird, creepy guy. Like, what the fuck? It's not her fault. That's not true. Words matter. Some people's words, just not his. Unless he didn't care when Soda told you couldn't stream to Hardcore Raid and Row. Of course, once didn't matter. Well, yeah, because I know Soda. He's like a friend of mine. Like, so what like, you really, like, man, what? Oh my god, that's scary. How? I guess there's a lot of people that don't have friends. Or we just assume it's creepy? I mean, I don't know. The guy looked pretty creepy, and the fact that she ran into him randomly, it just seems kind of unlikely that that would happen. Like, you know, I don't know. But, like, yeah, this kind of stuff. Like, I always assume that it's something weird, especially with guys like this. I mean, also, like, can we just address the elephant in the room? Spending $60,000 on an OnlyFans girl is not something of a person to the sound mind. It is not something that a person of a sound mind does. This is something that somebody who is probably mentally ill or there is something wrong with them does. So, yes, absolutely, I think that there's something wrong. I think he's probably creepy. I mean, how could you not think that? Fine to have a negative opinion of OnlyFans girls, however, it doesn't mean you should hate them for doing it. I think that there are a lot of things that I don't think that people should do, and I have a negative opinion of. But I contextualize that negative opinion in the realization that my opinion doesn't really matter. So even if I don't approve of something, that approval, like my approval of something, is of no consequence. So, of course there are things I don't approve of. Like, I'll give you some examples. I don't think anybody should ever need to buy a car over $200,000. I think every person who's doing that is wasting their money, and I think it's a bad way to spend your money. I don't think it's a good idea. I think going to places like Starbucks is extremely indulgent. It costs way too much money for the product being offered, and I don't go there. I think buying designer clothes and spending over $100 on any article of clothing, unless it's like something really special, is almost always a waste of money. Especially over $500. Like, let's cut out, like, because $100 could be a different type of currency. I mean, fuck, like, it could be a $100 hoodie or a jacket or something like that. That's fine. But, like, $500, like, absolutely not. I think you're just wasting your money and you're being stupid. Like, I don't really think that, I don't think that's really the case. But I think for everything else, it definitely is. You're wrong about buying expensive cars. Okay. Why am I wrong? Yep, why am I wrong? Everyone puts them in a situation that might affect them badly as their fault. Put yourself in a position where you know someone creepy will appear, yet you still do it. That's on you in general. Everyone that puts themselves in a situation that might affect them badly is their fault. I think that's generally the case. Yeah, you're right. But I also don't think that you should put the fault on the person who puts themselves in that position. Because oftentimes, while a person can do things to minimize risk, the fact that the risk exists in the first place isn't necessarily their fault, and it shouldn't be their responsibility either. Is there really not going to have a response? It's victim blaming? I mean, generally, yeah. I mean, I think that, like, for example, like, it's smart to LeFerrari was originally sold for 1.4 million base price. You're stupid. You're illiterate. You're never going to buy one of these. Like, this is just crazy. I just... again, I think that, like... It's such a stupid argument. Most expensive cars are an investment. No, they're not. Most expensive cars are not an investment. There is like a small subset. There is like a 1% of expensive cars that actually appreciate in value. Every single other type of use of expensive car does not appreciate in value. Like, you would know that if you actually knew anything about this. Like, I know people that have these cars. That's how I know it. Actually true. Yeah, people tell themselves things like that because they want to justify being stupid with their money. The good thing, at least, is that these people will never have enough money to be stupid with it. Anyway, back to this. The point is that I think obviously like this kind of stuff is really weird, and you know, like I see something like this, it's definitely weird, but we live in a very weird society nowadays. We live in a crazy weird society. Yeah, there it is. Let them do what they want with their money. Oh, they have every right. If you think that buying a really expensive car will make you happy and you can afford to do it, you should do it. Buy it. Buy it. Do it and see if it makes you happy. Because like, you should do whatever you want to do that will make you happy. I just think it's a stupid way to be happy. Strawman argument. People should know that you weren't talking about people buying cars as an investment to begin with. Well, and also, like, I mean, again, the people that are arguing this don't even understand what they're talking about. But the point is that with a lot of this kind of stuff, I mean, I just think this is normal now. It is. It's fucking normal. I'm changing my point. How am I changing my point? Oh, this is a person who's justifying, you're justifying the behavior. Consumerism in general is stupid. I think that any time that you go and you look to buy something to make you happy, I think that's probably a bad thing. Absolutely. Unless it's something that you need, right? Like you need a car, just a car. Yeah, a car will make you happy. If you need like a heater and it's too cold in your house, buying a heater will probably make you happy. But buying luxury goods and things like this, you know, chasing some sort of high, that's not going to make you happy. This person's not responding. Anyway, makes you happy for a day? Yeah, I think so. I feel like a lot of people get called out for, they feel very called out right now. Because I'm listing off things that they do with their money or they want to do with their money, and I'm calling them stupid. I want to let you know that I'm absolutely talking about you. Your fixation on buying luxury goods and spending a lot of money is actually not about spending the money or having the thing. 95% of people that care about this stuff only care about it. They don't care about the car itself. They care about the social status that the car brings and it implies. They don't actually care about the car. They don't actually care about any of these products or anything like that. They care about being perceived as a person who's wealthy or successful. And let me promise you that you will never find any sort of fulfillment by looking for approval in other people. You will never be happy. You will never feel complete. You will never be a full puzzle piece. You'll always have a few pieces missing, and it will never be okay. You'll gain somebody's approval, then it will be somebody else, and then you'll need to do something else. It is an endless abyss of consumerism and just fucking nothingness. As soon as you realize that, you can probably spend more time in your life actually improving it rather than hoping on other people to allow you to be happy. I know there's a lot of people that like this might upset them, right? But I think it's a very freeing thing. Video games make people happy for a little while. Oh, for sure. Does it matter if that person's happy and not hurting themselves? The problem that I see with it is that almost every single person that I know that chases material things and material wealth, they do it for a reason that is not internal. They do it for a reason like, I need to get this money, I need to have this thing, so these people, I can prove these people wrong. So I can make these people know that they were wrong about me and I'm actually not a loser. Or something like that. I've never seen a person that has these things and pursues them regularly who is like fundamentally happy through pursuing these things. Now, they could be unhappy for another reason, and it's completely indifferent to this. But I think in a general sense, it is true. How about spending a shit ton of money on in-game cosmetics? I think that it's all the same. I do. I think it's all the same. That's backtracking. What am I backtracking on? What am I backtracking on? Is Rigo, yeah, I'm so disconnected. Yeah. Okay, so you've come into my chat multiple times and you've The false flag misogyny cards bullshit. Yeah, go ahead. What's your problem with me? How does it feel dedicating a large percentage of your life to watching a stream of a person that you get mad about? You preach against logical consistency, yet don't show it at all. I didn't ask for you to restate that I am not being... How? How? He just wants to be right, no reasoning always? No, I'm sure he's gonna have a great point, guys. He's gonna have a great point. You say never have a certain reason as a blanket statement. Yeah, I think that's probably true. From my experience, yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I think 95%, I think it's actually higher. Of the amount of people that spend money on, like, expensive products to make themselves happy, I don't think that any of them are actually happier. You're basing your argument off experiences you had, which is nowhere near the general consensus, which I don't agree with. Okay, so you don't agree with what my actual... Okay, so it actually has nothing to do with this, because if I say it is, you say it's not. Okay, so we're at an impasse. I can't prove I'm right, you can't prove I'm wrong. So what don't you agree with what I'm saying, then? Okay, go ahead. I don't think you should make generalized statement you simply cannot prove. Well, I'm talking about my experience. And aren't you making a generalized statement that you can't prove either? By saying that I'm wrong? Do you have an actual argument against what I'm saying, or are you just gonna stick with this one little point? Because, like, I don't really care about this point. I don't think it really matters. Semantics are, yeah, it's not even, has nothing to do with what we're talking about. He puts it out of his main argument. Yeah. These people think you're attacking people that love cars and hobbies, and your argument is about people who buy expensive things to seek validation from other people. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's alright. We'll listen to this person. I understand that, yeah, we'll unban them, we'll let them talk. This is a person who's been banned twice? Oh my god. Why'd he get banned the first time? Let me see. Yes, I am, and you called me stupid. I'm allowed to do the same to me. I think I would be considered stupid if I made a statement based on logic that I could no present illogically. You don't have any argument. You're just trying to fixate on this. You called me stupid. That's because you are. You are stupid because you come into my stream on multiple days and try to argue with me and tell me that I'm wrong. Just based off of that, you are stupid. You're wasting your life. Seek help. Hate watcher, yes, you are stupid. The sooner you realize that, maybe you can improve it. Cryptocon, for the record, I'm not sure to argue. I'm interested in your thought process in regards to things that I said. You're interested in my thought process to the things that I've said. Okay. He does it for Twitch strategies, create a whole Reddit around himself to milk content from people. It's a definition of self-absorbed. What, the amount of money you spend on video games would make most people throw up? You mean the amount of money that I spend, like, I don't understand. Like, you're right, but also, like, I did that for my job. Yeah, of course. It's a tax write-off, yeah. The comments on no chatter, not towards you. Okay, well, what is your point? Like, can you repeat it just so I can understand what you were actually referring to with me? Not a point or a question. What's the point of podcasts, Reddit, OTK, if money is meaningless? You don't au carte for public eye or attention. Why do you do all these things? Because I like doing them, and I like the fulfillment that I get out of doing them. And I can. I think that at a certain point, if you feel like, and this is always the way that I've felt, right, is that, like, I'm the kind of person that, like, if I feel like I can do something, I kind of want to do it because it's like a fulfillment of the self, right? You're doing something that's fulfilling on a personal level. I ran into this problem myself. I just don't understand why you're so opinionated about certain things you yourself partake in. What am I opinionated about that I partake in? Give me an example. The way people spend their money. Okay, so what part of the way that I spend my money am I partaking in that you think I'm being hypocritical about? Not making stupid assumptions based on what you say is idiots or waste of time? Yeah, I think so. People are about how taking a shallow ideology and material wealth will somehow elevate that person? Yeah, I think so. This person, like, why is it that, like, it's very weird to me whenever people have, like, all these, like, arguments about stuff, but they never really have an example to go along with the argument. Like, what are you even thinking about? Not hypocritical. I just don't see why you're so opinionated about how people spend their money whenever you make 10x them and value your money as virtually null. What? Not hypocritical. I just don't see why you're so opinionated towards how people spend their money when you make 10 times as much as them and value your money as virtually null. Wouldn't that logically be consistent, though? Like, wouldn't that just be completely logically consistent? Like, I don't understand. What? And also, I find this to be extremely ironic. Because do you remember why we started talking about this? We started talking about it because I said that my opinion didn't matter. The entire foundation of the conversation from the very beginning was that I was explaining an example of something that I think that doesn't matter. What are you talking about? People hate being moralized by a NEET that's more successful than them. I love it because you're right, but it makes dudes rage. Oh, people love getting, they just don't like being called out. I'll let them respond one more time. It's consistent. That's why I said it's not hypocritical. On clarification which you provided, at times you backtrack into statements that made to convict your original point. When did I do that? When did I backtrack? When did I do that? All the time? Like when? Just provide an example. Yes, just want an example. People don't know how to argue anymore. It's sad, isn't it? You do it daily. Jesus Christ, this is sad. Ever consider giving me all your money since you seem to never spend it? This was 2 years ago. What percentage of your money is invested, seeing as you spend so little? This person has a fixation on the amount of money that I spend, and you've been doing this for 2 years. Do you really think this is a healthy way to live your life? You ever consider doing a podcast? But then I do the podcast, and you criticize me for it. You asked me, ever consider doing a podcast? Oh, it's a live podcast. Well, I guess that might be a little bit different. Sponsored to play this game under an NDA with Amazon. He never has anything negative to say, but the game's riddled with problems. Wow. Isn't it interesting that, like, whenever you have a person's chat logs, you can see what kind of, what goes through their head? It's just a weird guy, man. Just a weird guy. He hates you, wants to suck your dick as well. Yeah, it's, yeah, Twitch brings out a lot of people like that, man. It really does. I know a lot of people are always gonna have, like, arguments and stuff like this. But I just want you to know that, like, the kind of people that... I want you to know that just by the nature of you being in my chat trying to argue with me makes you stupid. So, like, just going into it, you're stupid. Because nobody is going to do that that's intelligent at all. They're not going to type a message in a chat that gets deleted in 3 seconds to try to, like, oh, I'm going to try to counter him and make him wrong on his stream. Watching a stream that you disagree with, you're an idiot. That's all there is to it. Makes funny content, though? It does. It absolutely does. You're right about that.